What the fuck was that? You don't remember the fucking...
Well, you should have told me. Then I could have started the Jimmy Barnes thing, and then
I immediately repressed it as soon as I heard it.
Remember when that showed up in Pacific Rim Uprising, everybody's favorite film?
I haven't
I've
seen
yet to see
Pacific
it.
Rim. I haven't seen it yet because everyone is telling me different things about it.
Yep.
I saw it on a plane. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, don't listen to other people on that one. You really have to form your own opinion.
Hold on,
that
Hunter. I don't know any movie someone watches on a plane has to have an asterisk next to like the opinion on it because
That's true too.
you're locked in a big metal tube and you're breathing your own air for several hours. Like that kind of opinion can't be trusted.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you're breathing your own farts. That's what.
That's what I was going to get to. You got fart breath.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for telling me that.
Yeah.
Needed that.
Hey, when
Yeah.
I moved to Vegas, I had to sit next to a very smelly European family. So
Oh no.
Wow.
yeah, man, imagine breathing that in for 6 hours.
I don't know what to even attack there.
I think we should just get right into intro so Andrew Littler isn't confused.
I don't know what to attack there. I'm glad I'm the first person to stump Eric.
I like that. There's so many different ways to approach that, and you hit all of them at the same time. So no, it's just a huge clusterfuck.
Yep. It's not like that. Like they stunk the way like they smelled in the way it's like they don't wear deodorant. They have never worn deodorant, and they're all in tank tops.
They maybe wear talcum powder, maybe possibly.
And I get that it's a thing over there that they all kind of smell the same, but over here it's a little different. And just like when you're in that kind of environment, you're like, oh dear God.
Well, I think that's how every Japanese person feels about Americans when they go over to Japan. Because
we're just like, eh.
I've heard horror stories of people who've gone to Japan and it's just so humid and like
they're just unprepared for the wetness.
Yeah, their deodorant does nothing, and the stuff they buy in Japan does even less than nothing. So, yeah, we're all stinky bastards in one way or another.
Heard that if you go to Japan, you have to douse yourself in to make you not smell like fucking a bucket of shit. Anyway, I'm Connor McGraw. This is our news edition of After Dark. Because there's a bunch of stuff that's happened in the past few weeks. There's a bunch of stuff that's happened in the last 24 hours.
Yeah.
Including, you know what? I'm going to get this story out of the way so we can just shit on it before anybody else even says their names. Fuck the Joker Harley Quinn movie. It can die in a fire. I don't care about it. Fuck you, Warner Brothers. All of you should choke on pretzels. Continue. Who else is here?
Arlen Harrow, as usual.
I am Dragon's Dogma apologist, Hunter Downport.
I like that game now.
I okay, good. I don't have to spend my point. All right, cool.
Who else is here?
I'm just trying to be a better person. My name is Alan.
Oh, God damn it.
That's all.
$10 to anyone who gets that.
I don't know.
No idea.
I know what that is, yeah.
And I'm Eric Fedorchak, and for once, I'm not the one who said the most offensive thing off the top of the show. So let's go.
Yeah.
What?
Alan, you really are the Randy of this show. That's not an insult, by the way. Just so you know. So, yeah.
So what is our speed round stuff? Because I don't have the thing.
Well,
It's
first
in the
off,
chat.
just fuck Bryan Singer.
Does anybody want to digest the Harley Quinn Joker thing real fast?
Not really. It's a bad idea, and it shouldn't be happening.
I didn't even add that. I was just talking about fucking what's his face.
Joaquin Phoenix Joker.
Yeah.
You mean the better version that we're gonna get?
That was the one I was excited for. And then, it seems like Warner Brothers just can't let things be, and just let because those pictures got down. Some people were like, "Oh shit, this is really fascinating." And they're like, "Positive buzz? We can't allow this." Threaten them with an announcement.
Yeah.
I just think that they don't know how news works. They just think that they'll put it out and people will just ignore it. That seems to be their entire strategy.
I didn't hear anything about this Joker Harley Quinn movie other than when it was first talked about like months ago, if not longer. But so they doubled down on it now.
It seems though.
Everything I saw is just it's still happening. I didn't see anything Really.
But this is going to be the Margot Robbie and what's his fucking face?
Yes.
It says a criminal love story written by the Bad Santa writers.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
It was also compared to This Is Us.
Here's the thing.
What? Wait a minute.
Wait, what? Okay, Alan, please repeat what you just said.
Okay, hold on. I have to get to this part. One of the writers, Glenn Ficarra. God damn it. Okay, here we go. Sorry, an ad blocker thing popped up. Ficarra says the script starts with Harley Quinn kidnapping Dr. Phil, who will play himself.
No, fuck this movie.
Find her and Joker
Actually, wait a
and
second.
they're like the real Dr. Phil to play himself. They say that they had a lot of fun writing the script saying they were doing a relationship movie, but with the fucked up, mentally deranged people.
How about we don't make that movie? How about you don't? Just like...
Here's the thing. When WB tries to bandwagon, it fails, usually. Suicide Squad's a bad
I was
film,
gonna say, like, what are they gonna have
don't
a
get me.
Catch Me Outside girl in the movie too? Like,
Yeah, like,
I
this
thought
is
you-
clearly a Deadpool thing that they're going for, right?
No,
maybe.
don't make that movie. No. Here's the thing. I don't have no faith in them to make anything close to as good as that first Deadpool movie is.
No, definitely not. But that's the thing, they don't need to. They just need it to be as marginally... It needs to be Suicide Squad compared to Guardians for people to actually go see it. And for the people who think that Joker and Harley are a really cute couple. Yeah.
It shows a fundamental divide between the people who are creating these comics and the people who are creating the comics movies, because it's been addressed multiple times in the comics, like, hey, you don't want a relationship like this. This is
dude,
not a relationship.
as far as I know, she, like, it says a lot when Harley Quinn is featured among the entirety of the Justice League for the promotional art for Heroes in Crisis. Like, she's standing next to Superman.
Wow.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, like, that's how far the divide is at this point. Like, they're not a thing anymore. And it's splintered into, like, even the Injustice universe is like, Harley's like, no, I'm done with him. She's like, even though he's dead, she's like, everything he did to me was wrong, and she's full on Team Batman.
Well, she is.
Yeah.
DC has gone on record saying she's one of the pillars of the DC universe.
Yeah, exactly. But the
Yeah,
people who run these
fair.
movies are like, oh, she's Joker's girlfriend. We'll just make it.
Right.
She's Joker's
It's like they only saw
girlfriend.
one episode of
Hold on.
Batman
Well-
Animated Series.
Let me do it again. Yes, she's always Joker's girlfriend. Until the sun explodes.
Feel my teeth.
Now give me some oxygen. I can't breathe with a cigar in my mouth.
The thing is, Harley needs to be in those very, very short
And
shorts.
she's gotta shake her rump and her titties around. Okay?
Could someone go and put a whole bunch of prunes into a blender and then throw it out? Please, I can't.
And then bring the child in here. I have to drink its blood.
I need to stare at it until its soul enters my eye holes.
You know what's funny is that independently of this show, Joe, I guess, came up with an executive character for Movie Dumpster.
Of course
Now
he
we
did.
have two of these characters.
Oh man, I need to be on the show then, and we can just have
No.
dueling execs.
Is the producer character our cinematic Thanos? Like,
Yes,
I
he
mean,
is.
okay, well, for us, it's John Hurt.
yes.
Well, now,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, it's John Hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, for you guys it's John Hurt,
Dark
for everybody
Thanos.
here, yeah.
For us, it's
this,
for us, it's Alan.
well, no, for us, God damn it. For us, it's Alan. No, here's the thing. So I think we don't have a Thanos. We have an antimatter and a Darkseid.
Yeah,
or
Anti-Monitor,
not
yeah.
anti-monitor. Yeah, our anti-monitor is AIDS Ghost,
Oh, god damn it.
Yes.
and the executive is Darkseid because the two of them neutralize each other.
Oh man, who's Steppenwolf then?
That would be
Littler.
no. God damn it! No, that would be the Jolly Rancher. That would be that's who that would be.
Fuck, that's funny.
He just has to chime in every once in a while and go, "Mother, don't touch mother. You can't touch
Oh,
mother." Anyway, fuck this movie. But also, in our actual stories, fuck Bryan Singer.
Yep.
Yeah, fuck Bryan Singer.
I mean, there's a
Fuck
lot
him.
of different reasons to say that, but I know there's one specifically that Arlen
Well,
has.
yeah, there's a possibility he is directing a Red Sonja movie.
Okay, and
which
I think here's the really obvious like what the fuckery about this is that it's like this one company fires James Gunn for jokes he made 10 years ago, and this other company is like, hey, Bryan Singer, you've had a number of accusations thrown against you in the last year. Why don't you come get some work and get paid for it?
Yep.
And you're also erratic as fuck behind the scenes, as in leaving the filming of the Freddie Mercury movie for the last 2 weeks of the movie? Something
Jeez,
like that?
he just left.
I actually didn't hear about this.
Oh.
No, he left. He left during production to go spend time with his mother, in quotes.
His sick parents, I thought is what he said.
Right.
No.
Yeah, or
I
something
don't
like that.
For a second.
No, he went to go do a whole bunch of amyl nitrates and do a whole lot of weird things with people.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he rented a hotel. He bought just like all the hookers, all of the male escorts that he could possibly get, and then he had a party.
Well, okay, is there any truth to that part of the story? Like, is there anything that like actually corroborates with that?
No, this is just
There's nothing to
supposition.
corroborate that, but there's a lot of rumors, and there's enough rumor there that you kind of have to like.
That you had to look at it and go, okay, what did you actually do?
Yeah, something happened because there are hotel room employees who have to clean up after him and all these things. Very old school Hollywood rag type stories.
Isn't he also the one who outed Ellen Page on set?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he did. Yeah.
No, that was Brett Ratner.
No, really, Brett?
No, I thought it was.
No, then
no,
that's right. Okay.
No, it was
I thought it
Ratner
was-
during X-Men Last Stand.
Yeah, apparently that's something where I'm like, maybe Singer isn't such a bad dude because apparently he knew, like he just met her and he just knew automatically, and he was really supportive to her. So like, maybe he's not all bad, but like,
No, he's still bad.
everything I've heard about him,
no.
yeah, I've heard he's
Snake's
kind of a
fucking
piece of
evil.
shit.
Well, yeah, everything I heard about Bryan Singer is that he's a fucking predator.
That seems to be the case. I mean, this last case that came up against him around the X-Men Last Stand, whatnot, the timing of it was all very, very peculiar and pat. How the prosecutor, or at least the attorney for the person who was making the accusations, brought it to what was it, Hawaii or something like that, where the statute of limitations was like longer, so he could actually bring the case to court.
Oh yeah.
But there's been far too many accusations against Bryan Singer for this to not seem to be fire where there's lots of smoke.
Yeah, and also I'm just, all that aside, I don't like him stylistically.
No.
I think he's bad at looking and making things that look good. And if he's the person who
Specifically
is,
action scenes.
who's maybe responsible for possibly bringing Conan back, I don't want him doing it.
No.
Because Red Sonja, you don't do Red Sonja without the intention of bringing back
why do you
Conan.
start with Red Sonja? That's a weird
Because Conan's tainted. That's why.
Well,
he's
also
at
because
this point.
this is maybe me viewing this from a purely cynical angle, he's trying to jump on the Me Too bandwagon.
that too.
Like, it's let's have a strong female warrior movie, and there we go, guaranteed sales.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But he's
Yeah,
a
it looks good.
gross person, so that it's probably likely
Yeah.
Mhm.
where he would
like-
just see something positive and be like, "Fuck that! I want it on that."
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I hate to be like that, but that is purely the predatory way Hollywood works in my mind.
I mean, you're not wrong.
110%.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm really angry. Like, hire Karen Kurosawa to do this.
Yeah.
Director of The Invitation and fucking all kinds of other stuff.
Hire anybody
Like,
who can do a
anybody.
competent action scene.
Yeah. Anybody. Like, there are multiple female directors who've directed Game of Thrones. I would trust any of them.
Shit,
More
get
than Bryan Singer.
Oh fuck! I always forget her name. Punisher Warzone.
Yeah, her. Or fucking Rachel Talalay. She directed, I think, Nightmare 5 and a bunch of episodes of Doctor Who.
Was it Karen Berger was the director of Punisher Warzone?
Something like that.
No,
she directed she directed some of the better Flash episodes from last year. Fucking
Lexi Alexander.
That's it.
yeah. There are a number of female directors who are more qualified for this job, who will do a better job, and will give you a better platform to launch your Conan movie off of. Because Conan's going to be in a post-credit scene.
Oh yeah,
of course he is.
Like he's going to be mentioned. They're going to say, "We heard about this Sumerian barbarian in blah 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 blah. You should go meet him. You get along."
Yeah, you fight like that Sumerian. Yeah.
Lexi Alexander directed an episode of Arrow.
Huh.
Yeah, she directed a couple CW things, and
holy shit!
I think she's directing a bunch of episodes this season also.
Oh fuck yeah!
Yeah.
She directed an episode of Limit. It seems like she gets a lot of she directed an episode of Supergirl.
A lot of TV stuff.
Taken, American Gothic, Limitless, and How to Get Away with Murder.
Huh.
Yeah.
So she's got actually kind of a broad spectrum of genres she can cover. Huh.
Yeah,
Okay. Hold on. She was hired by fight choreographer Pat Johnson to portray Princess Katana in the Mortal Kombat live tour.
What?
Yeah.
That's
Lexi now
awesome.
hires Pat as her stunt choreographer for every movie. That is a spicy bit of trivia.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Damn.
Nice.
Yeah. But anyways, that's my thing on the Bryan Singer.
Yeah.
Point,
it's no good.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like it seems like during the filming of Bohemian Rhapsody, like it seemed like the world was ready to kind of say like, all right, we're done with this dude.
Mm-hmm.
That was the general consensus I got anyway, and now it's what like everyone's like, oh well, no one's talking about it now. Better rehire him. Like what?
Yeah.
Who owns Conan right now, movie wise?
I don't actually know.
Well, if it was Fox, it would be Disney now, I suppose.
Well, I know the comic rights are back with Marvel.
Yeah. The wrench in my whole this is a Conan relaunch thing is if the rights are in two different places, which they could be.
Oh my god, Cabinet Entertainment? What the fuck is that?
What?
It sounds like a holding company the Kingpin have. You know what I mean?
Okay, Millennium is trying to do this Red Sonja movie. Millennium, I can't remember what they've done recently, but they're smaller.
Cabinet was also known as Paradox Entertainment, and they own the company owns the rights to many IPs, the most famous of which is Conan the Barbarian, as created by pulp author Robert E. Howard, blah, blah, blah. Other properties include Bran Mak Morn, Cull, Solomon Kane, Mutant Chronicles, Warzone, Cult, and Chronopia.
So
I have not heard of 9%.
They went through and swept up a lot of the public rights or the public domain stuff initially, because a lot of that stuff was pulp around the same time. Like Mutant Chronicles and Solomon Kane and all that. So
I know of Solomon Kane just because I knew there was like a movie made in it, like I don't know, within the last 10 years. And I know of Cull because that was the one with Kevin Sorbo.
Mm-hmm.
Cull the Conqueror?
Yeah, it's about Conan's dad.
Cull is Conan's great-grandfather or something?
Fucking kidding.
I thought it was something like that. Dad or his grandfather.
The way the timeline works is that Solomon Kane is Conan's, like, 1800s ancestor. Like,
wait, I did not know any of this.
Yeah. Robert E. Howard wrote all of his stuff, not all of it, but some of it is in what's called the Atlantean timeline, which is a timeline where Atlantis was a real place. Atlantis fell, then Sumeria, which is actually a real region. I didn't know that pretty recently, in like the middle of Europe. Eurasia, actually. And then that's the Sumerian age where Conan exists and all that. And then Solomon Kane is 1800s, and I think there are other stories in between, and they're all connected by being part of the same bloodline.
That's really weird.
Yeah, Robert E. Howard. Yeah,
Fun fact.
He did some crazy stuff.
And like Robert E. Howard was like pals with Lovecraft too, so like their stuff bleeds together at some point.
Yeah.
Wow.
H.P. Lovecraft and Conan the Barbarian takes place in the same universe.
Yeah, there was.
Oh shit.
Well, yeah. Robert E. Howard and H.P. Lovecraft apparently wrote to each other, like they were pen pals of some sort.
That makes a lot of
That's
sense. Actually,
It's so stupid, but so awesome.
Well, and other fun trivia
yeah.
about Robert E. Howard was that he was actually a really short guy who had a terrible drinking problem, and he apparently liked to pick fights with people.
I mean, it seems like writers that time usually like someone describes them like, yeah, and they egregiously mistreated their bodies and then died.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How did Robert E. Howard die?
I don't know. Probably alcohol.
Let's find out.
Yeah.
What's
our next story while you look that up?
Oh my god! He killed himself.
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
Okay.
I did just want to say, I just looked it up. Conan is getting an Amazon show, so I don't think that they will be connected
That's a fucking
at all.
bummer. Damn.
Yeah.
All right. What if we ended the
But, hey.
show right there?
Yeah.
On some real bummer news.
That's it, everybody.
Okay, we didn't actually talk about. Did we? We didn't actually talk about the Joaquin Phoenix.
No, we
photos,
didn't,
So
because we were
No.
counting on the other bad idea.
This
These
is great.
pictures look fantastic, and that makeup test, the screen
Yes.
test, that's now basically the official teaser.
Yes.
Was chilling, and the only thing I'm worried about at this point is Todd Phillips.
Yeah, I can.
I'm not worried about it really.
But Martin Scorsese's money is in this movie. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, he's an actual producer, not executive producer. So yeah, he's going to have a little bit more to say than he would if he's
so
just.
I'm sure he's not gonna like look at shit going on camera and be like, the fuck.
It's just
Right.
you are correct about Todd Phillips being a worry though, because I don't know, dude is kind of a frat boy douche. Like that's the impression I've always gotten from him. I mean, it just I don't know. There's just something about him that just,
Wasn't there some controversy around him too? I just don't remember what it was.
I don't remember anything.
I remember
but,
he did a documentary about frats for HBO a while ago. That was one of his big like first things he ever did. But outside of that, yeah,
I don't know. I mean, he did Old School and The Hangover.
I could
and
be
then,
thinking of somebody else. I just could have heard somebody told me that
Oh
he was.
shit!
Looks like my uncle. Holy shit.
I forgot he did the Gigi Allen documentary. That was his first thing. You don't know who Gigi Allen is?
Oh
Look him
wow!
up. Yeah. I don't know if you guys know who Gigi Allen is. He's
He's in the punk culture, isn't he? I can't. What? He's in a band.
He was the Murder Junkies was the name of the band. It was Gigi Allen and the Murder Junkies. But yeah,
he's infamous for different reasons, isn't he?
Yeah, famous for punching people in the face during shows. Women, men, didn't matter. Smearing himself in shit. He died of a heroin overdose.
Like you do.
Else? Yeah, exactly.
Todd Phillips, though, was actually in Old School. Like, he made a cameo appearance in the beginning.
Yeah, he's also in The Hangover. He's in the elevator.
Yeah. Oh wait, he directed Starsky and Hutch.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Worrisome.
That's a good movie.
No, I agree. Actually, it's like a pretty fun, like send up of the old show.
Allen's real name is Jesus Christ Allen. What?
Yeah. Gigi Allen was a crazy man. He also had some great songs like Tarzan the Rape Man.
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
I said Tarzan the Rape Man was the name of one of Gigi
Okay,
Allen's
because
songs.
you actually legitimately dropped down on my end of the conversation, and I thought you said Tarzan the Rapist.
Well, no, but pretty close. I mean, pretty close.
It's what you said was no better.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm not worried. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not worried about Todd Phillips really. Like, the worst case scenario, the movie will be mediocre.
Yeah, I want to take an opportunity to address some of the opinions that people have on these pictures and of this movie. Stop asking for Heath Ledger. Okay, we got it. It was great. Let's try something else. B, purple and green does not make the Joker. He's dressed in various other colors. I actually saw someone say, no purple, no green, no Joker. I'm like, you've never read a comic in your life. Especially in the last few years, because Joker has been wearing all black for about 5 years. stop asking for Jared Leto's Joker above all, because we don't want that.
Why would you do that?
Well, because they want the Jared Leto Joker. Samsung
and
S10.
Come through the computer screen and choke you if you ask for that.
And like I understand the cynicism towards Warner Brothers because trust me, I'm there too. And I also understand, like me, I am, at least I'm pretty much fed up with the Joker because I think he's just been. I think of all the DC villains the past few years, he has just been fucking everywhere, and I'm everywhere except the comics, which is a weird thing. Like he's been very minimalist, used minimally in the latest Batman runs. But I think everyone really needs to give this one a bit of a fair shake. It seems at this point.
Yeah.
It looks like they're actually trying to do something that's not a complete and total disaster.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it could be good, could be bad. I don't like judging things based off of pictures.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
no. See, the thing is, like, even when Jared Leto's Joker pictures came out, I was like, okay, the damage tattoo is fucking dumb.
Yep.
And I was like, the tattoos are dumb. And I didn't like his teeth. But I was like, let's see how this actually plays.
I didn't mind the teeth.
Yeah,
because
I just hated the damage tattoo. That was the only one
the
that I didn't
tattoo
like.
is really...
The teeth supposedly had meaning, but like they cut the meaning out of the movie, so like it makes it dumber.
Yeah, it just makes him look like he's a dumb grill for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
And this looks like it's actually going to be lifting from various famous works featuring Joker, mostly Killing Joke, it seems.
Which is
Yeah.
weird.
Which is weird to do without Batman. And that's
Yeah.
my other
I guess-
concern is like, are you going to do a Venom and are you going to excise Batman out of his origin and out of his story? Because that's kind of important.
Here's the thing I was thinking about in terms of this movie is like, there's something inherently interesting about a non-canon Joker origin movie because it kind of fits into the narrative. Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think you could do it without Batman.
Well, here's the thing, and we talked about this in someone
I
else's
guess
post.
you can.
You can do this without Batman in regards to not casting someone as Batman and just have a stunt dude show up concealed in mostly darkness and treat him like a fucking movie monster because this is being told from a criminal's perspective. And to them, he is a beast, and you're not even sure if he's human.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm.
Don't show me.
Yeah,
Don't show me his wings. Show me his fists. Show me his cowl. Don't show me his face.
Right, yeah. Yeah, no, that's the way to do it. Like, do that.
Because
But,
this still has to end with him being dropped into a big fucking pool of chemicals.
Mm-hmm.
And if they excise that from the movie, then I'm going to be really pissed.
Yeah, I don't even care that much about that. It's more, for me, it's this. I don't like the idea of the Joker already being crazy before he becomes the Joker.
I don't know if he's
kind
crazy,
of a
though, because like,
well, no. If you look at one of the pictures, like, well, you've seen that picture though, where he's like looking at somebody deviously, like, that's. I mean,
I don't know how much
I don't
that is actually going to be in the film too.
No, I agree. It's just like, for me, there needs to be an inciting incident. It's more interesting to me if he was just a person beforehand, or even like a light criminal. But like I really like the Arkham Origins thing, where it's like he was kind of a dude, but he wasn't Jack Napier from the Burton movies where he's like a big heavy. He was like a low level guy before, like, yeah.
Well, yeah, like the Killing Joke.
The Arkham Origins, sequence where you play as a Joker and you play through his origins is exactly how it wants it to plan out, because even in that, like, you're seeing it from Joker's perspective, and every time he sees Batman, he's just a big fucking bat demon.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he is into it, like, deep within his brain. That's how he sees him, because he's the monster that ruined his life.
Yeah.
And that's how I want to see this portrayed.
But it's like, to me, it's just like, I'm interested in this movie in the sense of, like, I don't care if it's like divorced from the comics completely. Like,
here's the thing: if this is disappointing, like, it's not even news at this point. Like, oh, you made another dud.
yeah.
Like, that's where we're at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know. Phoenix is going to give a good performance, which is actually all I really care about at this point.
That's
So.
pretty much my only interest at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm
okay,
in. I'm like when the Venom reveal happened, I was like, oh, I'm in. But with this, I'm less hesitant than I was with Venom. And now I'm even more hesitant with Venom. So,
Well, yeah, yeah.
You mean the PG-13 film that we're all looking forward to?
Yeah, I'm not seeing that film.
Nope.
I'm
gonna see it only because I probably have to.
Nope.
Our review for the show is canceled, as far as I'm concerned.
I don't know, and I hate to be that guy at work, but I don't know how many times I've had to explain to people, no, Spider-Man isn't going to be in the movie. No, it's not a Marvel movie per se.
Mm-hmm.
And it's I hate to be like, well, technically, but it's just like, no, you're the people that are going to make this movie successful.
I honestly hate being the person who has to be like the bummer to people who are like, I love Venom. Like, I'm going to destroy your dreams right now. I'm sorry.
we haven't really talked about Venom too much since the PG-13 rating was official. I saw a Japanese trailer, and if these shots are any indication of how this movie is going to skirt around the violence, then fuck this movie into the next galaxy. Because it looks like some TV choppy away edits. Like here comes the teeth. Oh, cutaway, squelch.
Yep, sounds about right.
That's all this is going to be.
I don't understand how they fucked it up that they could not have an R rating.
Because they're scared.
Here's the thing: you sold this to people as we're going to push for a rated R movie. It's going to be directed by the Zombieland guy who made whose most successful movie is a very violent rated R comedy. Like, that's what you sold us, and then you turn around and said, "But maybe MCU."
No, the thing is, for months they were like, it's going to be pushed violence and like push the limits of superhero movies. It's like, it's PG-13. Like, fucking knock it off.
And John brought up, The Dark Knight. No, not John. Actually, no, it wasn't John. It was somebody else. The Dark Knight was PG-13. Look, I didn't go into The Dark Knight with the expectation that Batman was going to pick somebody up and tear their arms off and drink their blood.
Yeah.
That is why I wanted to see a Venom movie. I wanted to see.
John was making the argument that it would be fine, but I don't think he was too drunk to understand what we were saying in terms of what we wanted the movie to be.
Yeah. I wanted a splatter movie. That's what I wanted. I wanted a fucking splattery monster film.
And
yeah, totally.
It's Sony is still too scared to go outside of the lines that Marvel has drawn. They don't want to take the chance that they could potentially lose a multi-million-dollar film franchise.
But
I understand that, but I want upgraded, but with better effects.
Exactly.
I want.
If they're too scared, they shouldn't have the fucking rights.
But that's the thing. Deadpool is still. I feel like, at least when it comes to any of the major studios, they're all kind of this is a weird anomaly. They don't understand that it's because it's a well-made film. Yeah.
We know it's not.
Logan happened. We know it's not because, Logan happened.
If New Mutants had actually come out, New Mutants would have happened.
I know, but it's still. I still feel like a lot of the studios are just that's kind of their little niche.
Well, some of them are.
And do they even know that Daredevil exists? Fucking Wilson Fisk decapitated a man with a car door.
No.
Yeah.
No, that's on Netflix, Connor. Yeah. How would they know about that?
Yeah.
Streaming television. Yeah. She throws a sandwich. Pascal throws a sandwich at the TV.
Meanwhile, they're all getting checks from TV shows that they signed off on but don't pay attention to.
Yep.
So, yeah. Okay. I think are we good on the Joker story?
Yeah. So. Yeah. Okay. I'm optimistic. I'm actually optimistic, but I'm still please don't disappoint me. If you do, I won't care that much, but please stop doing it.
Yeah.
I'll wait till a trailer to have a real opinion on it because okay. Next story. This was really for me and Eric, but whatever. You guys get to suffer through it. Aaron Moorehead and Justin Benson, directors of The Endless, Resolution, and Spring, they already announced their next movie, which will be Synchronic, starring Anthony Mackie.
Okay.
Because Anthony Mackie hosts Infinity Wars, just doing a bunch of shit.
You just gonna talk Tom Holland the whole time?
Yeah.
I love those videos where he's just constantly on Tom Holland's ass.
It's so good.
No, it's better when Benedict Cumberbatch is always with Tom Holland for interviews, so he can put his hand over his mouth to keep
Yes.
moving.
Yes.
So good.
So have they said what the premise of this new movie is?
It's about these horrific deaths caused by a otherworldly designer truck.
Oh,
hell yeah.
That's all I need.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it also stars Jamie Dornan from the 50 Shades films, but don't hold that against him because he's actually a pretty good actor.
So is this going to be their first relatively larger budget film? I'm guessing if they got Anthony Mackie,
like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. They got Mackie and Dornan in a ambulance in New Orleans. Everything about this sounds great.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I'm into this.
Yeah.
With their weird handheld style and no, this would be great.
Yeah. Everything you've said sounds exactly like what I want to see out of them. So yeah, I'm 100% in on this.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen The Endless or Resolution, go watch those because they're
Resolution's
great.
on Shudder and The Endless is now on Netflix. You have
Yeah,
no excuses.
after an email exchange with Shudder about them not taking my credit card, they just stopped answering me, so I don't know what to do.
Oh,
I have a login.
yeah.
Hey,
same.
hey, Shudder, fuck you then. I'm just going to use someone else's login, because you guys literally stopped answering my email.
I really like the idea of a company just being like, all right, just stop talking to them.
Yeah. Well, because first I was like, hey, why didn't you guys take my Visa card? And they're like, it's prepaid. I'm like, it's not. And then they were like, well, you can use these methods. I'm like, are you trying to tell me that I can use my card and go through iTunes to buy a subscription? And that's when they stopped talking to me.
Wow.
I think you can also pay for a subscription through PayPal if you really wanted
Yeah,
to.
and through Amazon actually.
Yeah, that's,
No,
I
I,
was
don't know if
trying-
you have to
I
have
was-
a Prime account.
I was trying to get that
but-
clarified, and that's when they ceased communicating with me. I was like, all right, get bent. Like,
Yeah, I'll just
I
just
came-
give you my login.
I came to you
info.
saying I would give you money for your service, and you're like, well, whatever.
Ugh.
I mean,
Bleh.
yeah. Mhm. Mhm. But
Easily-
anyways, yeah.
Go
Spring
check
and Resolution, their other films are on there, so go watch all their films.
Yes.
Yeah, they're on my list.
Yeah.
Which one was the trailer you showed us where it was a bunch of the fucking weirdness at the campground or the
That's
retreat?
The Endless.
Okay, that almost looked.
Yeah.
I it looked somewhat Lovecraftian.
Kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
There's some spooky dooky stuff going on. So yeah.
It's
Okay.
like
Yeah.
a perfect blend of sci-fi and horror.
That's what I
Mhm.
guess. That's kind of what I was getting from it. And it piqued my interest.
Yeah.
I forgot about it. I am making a list of movies I have to basically of stuff I've missed the past 2 to 3 years. And those are going on and with the Joker stuff actually, I need to see You Were Never Really There.
Yeah, same.
Oh yeah, that movie's so good.
Yeah.
Need to see that.
Wait, Connor, so you're making your Winter Soldier list?
Man, that's the second reference to that movie to me today.
Bum, bum.
That was God, that was the fucking I couldn't believe how on point that first comment was. To do the
like
one
I said,
sentence, longing, rusting. Oh,
yeah, that was it. Should have just shut that entire thread down.
Yeah, I should have just stopped. I should have disabled comments.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, my comment was pretty good.
Oh, I
so,
love that one too.
yeah.
Well, and then fucking
Okay,
Joe comes in and goes. Joe Hansen comes in and goes, "Yo, baby, wanna fuck?"
What?
Yeah. I was
I
like,
mean-
and I went, "What kind of girl do you think I am?" And he goes, "A dirty."
It's a weird world where Joe Hansen is the best Joe. Just put that out there.
Hey, don't disparage Stoll like that.
No, I forgot about him. He's
I mean, I think the Skull is the most successful Joe.
Yeah.
Oh, easily.
yeah, most likely.
God, he was at a fucking Mothman convention last week, or a
Yeah, you
Mothman
said.
festival. His life is so rad. He also apparently lives in I was talking about a movie dumpster about Nicolas Cage's house, and I was like, yeah, he lives in a mansion, or basically some kind of gothic structure filled with books and the occult and Godzilla statues. And Joe goes, "Oh, my house." I was like, why do I picture you sitting in a big fucking red chair with a Vincent Price robe on, smoking a big fucking pipe?
Yes. Actually, it'd be a cigarette and a cigarette holder. But like an obnoxiously long one.
Man, if he hears this, he's gonna be like, "Oh shit, I need that." Anyway,
That's what I'm.
BRB gonna go tag him in this.
Next on the list was
The Eternals got a director.
which
I don't know any of her films.
Yeah,
so,
I'm not familiar with her stuff at all. Although I thought you had said it was one of those horse movies. I'd
Yes,
suggested to you
because
guys.
yes. Yeah. A while back we we talked about how I saw 2 trailers for horse movies about someone who's stealing a horse. So yeah,
You
directed one
steal
of
a
those.
horse. You can't own a horse. Can you own the wind? You don't own a horse.
Hey, calm down there, Pocahontas.
I automatically have more faith that this is even going to exist over New Gods, just because it's we have faith in Feig. Like,
I thought you were gonna say because of the
actually,
horse movie.
No.
Okay, so I don't want to derail this again, but did you also hear the X-Men news?
no, oh yeah,
that
Kevin
Feige's gonna be in
Feige
charge.
is going
of
to
them.
be in charge of the X-Men as well.
Yeah.
Well, I know the announcement was like, well, we don't really know where or how to talk about this with the deal still going through, but they're like, but it's pretty safe bet that it'll be with him. Like, so they didn't want to outright say like, oh yeah, they're going over him. But
they're basically saying like, yeah, there is a plan to move it over under his supervision, which is like, oh, then no sweat off my brow. Like,
nope. No,
all right.
Yeah, I'm not worried at all. And Eternals, same thing. Like it's a super odd concept. Like it's the Eternals and the Deviants and their creations of the Celestials and
isn't Thanos?
No, he's much further along.
He's
like his
he's
father was an Eternal.
He's technically a mutant.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, his brother Star Fox or Eros and him are the sons of an Eternal. But it's very convoluted. But once again, they managed to make Guardians of the Galaxy work so well. So I'm not.
I was you said we were concept, and I was like, I was going to say like, yeah, so is a talking tree and a gun-wielding raccoon.
Exactly.
There's also no way Star Fox is coming to the MCU.
No. But he's so far down the line from this, like I wouldn't worry about it. Like,
there's no way.
Yeah,
that character listed forever.
They've completely kind of changed Thanos's backstory. Well, not completely changed it, but they haven't really gone into like, oh yeah, my dad was an Eternal, and my brother, and like they've just been like, yeah, this is what Titan looks like. Now it's not done.
Well, I mean, they have to make the decision between that or, as we discussed before, a planet of Thanos's.
Exactly.
With the chins.
Yeah, with their scrotum chins. Yeah.
Well, now they have scrolls, they can say he's half scroll.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Well, and they said that in one of the Earth X series too.
Yeah.
They said, but that's a whole another ball of yarn to even dissect all of that. So,
anyways, I trust Feige with any director he picks. Like,
yep,
they'll knock it out of the park.
Like it's Kevin Feige, and he's doing this for 10 years, and no signs of like it going all the shit yet. So
yeah, he knows what he's doing. So that's just the first of many Marvel stories.
Yeah, and I don't know too much about the Eternals, so I can't say too much about them yet. But like Marvel movies have yet to really, get me wrong. So
it's just the behind the scenes that sucks.
Yeah.
Kind of like we talked about the X-Men thing, but like I now that the X-Men are coming over, I have like full faith the Fantastic Four are coming at some point.
I am very sure about that.
Well, the fact that they haven't said anything about them really makes me wonder if there might be some credence to all of the people talking about like, oh, well, what if the Fantastic Four showed up at the end of the next Avengers film? I could see that being a really good place to introduce them.
Well, by the time it comes out,
whoops, we broke time and space. Here are mutants.
Exactly, something along those lines. But yeah, they've got an amazing amount of openings to introduce these characters that have been missing for so long. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, we all have faith in Kevin, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
He's our god now. He's our god now.
I still say that they should just like mutants are a brand new thing. Just go with that.
Yeah.
I kind of like the idea that all the mutants are like really young, or like there's no.
Well, okay. Here's something I saw, and it was from Screen Rant, so I didn't really put too much stock into it, because they might have been reading into something too much and something that was already there. But the more I thought about it, I was like, yeah, it's possible. They apparently found something in the, I guess it was like the official art book, or like the art of Marvel Infinity War. They said like Scarlet Witch's powers may have come from the Mind Stone, but the Mind Stone could have also woken up something that was innate already in her.
Okay, that'd be actually a really good way to get around that. Yeah,
that like maybe the
Mind Stone explodes.
Yeah, I mean, still, her father shouldn't be Magneto. But
no.
Maybe
we're beyond that.
Her grandson.
I think we're
be
way
Magneto.
past that by now, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's a way to respect the 616 canon, right? But still make a new thing, and I hope that they do the new thing and go somewhere.
Yeah, or like maybe
weird
Magneto is an
new
older
with it.
person who has his powers awakened by something.
Maybe.
And maybe he I don't know,
know.
maybe he adopts fucking mutants and adopts fucking Scarlet Witch.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean,
Maybe Quicksilver comes back and saves the day.
He's like, do you have a brother? She's like, no. Okay.
What's a brother?
What's it? Who?
but again, like I guess my thing is like, if Legion has shown us anything, it's that you maybe don't need Magneto or Charles.
No.
So
I mean,
yeah.
I don't really like.
Shit. Legion's like, we don't even need the X-Men.
Yes. Well, that's because
And they're doing a really good job. So
Yeah.
like,
what was I gonna say? The idea basically is strong enough without them. I don't think like they necessarily need to be like married to like the idea of having like mentors. You know what I mean? Like,
Also, like maybe the MCU goes on and doesn't even bother like branding a team as the X-Men until a little later down the line, and maybe you just have these characters exist like as themselves, and maybe a few of them work together a few times, but there's no team.
Or I mean, there's so many different options, but like the one that I'm really kind of in favor of is set it like 50 years in the future, 100 years in the future, and suddenly mutants are just a thing and they're everywhere. Yeah.
See,
so just, like,
that's cool from a storyteller's perspective, but the problem is Disney's going to look at that and go, absolutely not. You're not taking away a chance to put toys with a new Wolverine next to Captain America.
Yep.
Like,
I mean, you can still have Captain America there, though, like, because he's Cap. So.
well, I mean, it's probably going to be Anthony Mackie or Sebastian Stan at this point. So.
Yeah, I know, but like, it's the future, and like, it's comic books, so you can have like time travel and shit like that. And, like, they have the time stone, so yeah. Anyways, okay, this is not a topic that we're supposed to talk about. Captain Marvel trailer.
Yes.
Woo! Yeah.
Yes.
She punched
First
an old lady in the
official
face.
story.
Yes.
Yes,
Which
that old lady.
I am shocked at the amount of people who, I mean, I imagine it's mostly clickbait articles, but who wrote articles talking about like, well, I can't believe Captain Marvel is punching an old woman in the face. Is this what we're coming to with movies? Like, motherfuckers, you dumb motherfuckers, do you not know anything about these movies? Like,
No, they don't.
specifically this one, like.
This is like the people who, after they saw the Avengers trailer, they were like, "Why are Cap and Thor fighting?"
I just, it's insanely frustrating. I understand not everyone wants to know like the whole history.
People who think that Harley and Joker are a couple.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Dumb
All right.
people. Wait, I didn't say that.
Good point.
I'm
I don't know.
excited. It looks fucking fun. It looks like spacey fun.
Mm-hmm.
And holy shit, what kind of wizardry is going on at Disney so they can just like make Samuel L. Jackson like just look 20 years younger, like it's no big deal.
Well, and there's the quick shot of Clark Gregg, is it? Coulson?
He's got a faux hawk.
Yeah, kind of.
Hell yeah, I love it.
there was a picture floating around showing like the MCU, how the modern day version of people, and then they're de-aged.
Oh man, and it ends with
and then the last one is with Henry
face.
Cavill. Yeah, like how is it that Marvel has done this so well and they can't even remove a mustache without making his mouth look like that?
And that I thought it looked bad in motion, and we've talked about this before, but like some of the still shots of Superman's face in that movie are just like it's CGI horror from like the late 90s.
It's pretty goofy.
Yeah. It's bad looking.
Yeah, it's upsetting.
His facial proportions don't make any sense. Like, why is his chin so small and his mouth so big? Like,
yeah.
And then in that one shot where he's like, "Do you bleed?" Like his mouth is really small and his chin is huge.
You mean Thumb Wars Henry?
Thumb Wars Henry.
I don't understand why they weren't just like, all right, you can shave the mustache. Like,
I also understand why, like, at some point someone was like, we can just give you a fake mustache.
Yeah, I haven't seen the newest Mission Impossible movie, but I'm guessing it's not a cornerstone of the plot line.
That is the only way.
No, but it's an essential part of the movie, actually. So,
but
that was a good
is
decision.
it crucial to the plot line that he has a mustache?
Yes, it is.
Wait,
I would argue that it is.
Okay, now I need to see this film.
Yeah, I know.
Just for that reason. Not because I hear it's great, because I need to see how the mustache ties into the plot.
But no, on a serious note, Christopher McQuarrie came out like a little after the movie came out, after the movie was released, and he was like, "Yeah, thinking back on it, we could have shaved it."
Yeah.
Because the decision not to shave it came before Tom Cruise broke his leg. So yeah, that was something that if they had known about that, he could have shaved it.
Oh
very
my
easily,
God.
and it would have been fine.
See, I feel like that's more them being like, guess what? You could have shaved it. Oh well, too bad.
You could have not embarrassed yourself.
Also, it's like Paramount, they haven't been the best financially in the last few years.
It feels like everyone is suffering except fucking Disney.
I wonder
Everybody
why.
but Disney, yeah.
It's all going according to plan.
It's a real question,
Yeah.
It's almost like Bob Iger was planning this from the beginning to make all of his enemies kneel before his feet.
Yes.
Hollywood, it's more like Game of Thrones than you think it is.
On top of Paramount, can I just say, Bumblebee, that new trailer came out, and the Transformers are more accurate to the toys.
Dude, I am stupidly excited for Bumblebee.
Dude, they look so much better than fucking
that
PG
first
metal
trailer was like, oh my god, you made me feel something.
Yeah.
I didn't even see the new trailer. I didn't know there was a new trailer.
No, after this, watch it because they look so much better.
But Captain Marvel. Excuse me.
Yeah. Looks cool.
Yeah. No, it looks great.
That was not a reaction to the trailer. No, I'm excited. Brie Larson looks fucking awesome.
Yes.
I did not know that Jude Law was the villain, and apparently,
Oh, he is?
Alan. He might be playing Marvel.
No, he's not the villain.
Yeah,
he's
Marvel
like
is
her
the
mentor.
original Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
he's like
there's rumors that
Okay.
they might use Marvel as the villain for this movie.
they might make him into one, but they've already cast Marvel's mortal enemy and Gemma Chan as his mortal enemy's sidekick. But there could be a twist where
I heard
he's
there
not actually Marvel.
Yeah, I heard there might be a Marvel-esque twist. So, Alan, you'll get to have your cake and eat it too. So shut your face.
Right. Also, I want to point something out.
So
you'll notice that they're all wearing green.
Yep.
It's interesting, if you put people in green suits that are leather and practical, they look good. And they don't turn to crap after a couple of years. So yeah, just a little note.
Well, and that was something else.
Are you referring? You're obviously referencing Green Lantern.
Yes.
Okay. What? I don't know the motivation behind the CGI suit. What exactly is that story? Because
there was no motivation. They shot the whole movie with practical suits. The whole movie. They shot it and then they reshot it because they didn't think the practical suits looked good.
So I just quickly went to Wikipedia to the Bob Iger page, it listed one of his nicknames as Babas the Manus.
Of course it is.
No, that's no one calls him that. That's a Wikipedia troll.
Here's the thing. Bob Iger could probably. I fully believe Bob Iger has a capacity for murder. I think he does.
But back to Captain Marvel real quick.
You're assuming he hasn't already.
Yeah,
he probably has.
Oh no, he murdered those people from EA over the loot boxes.
He is.
Bring them to my office.
What the fuck? Who's Theon's brother? Fucking.
Oh,
he's
God damn it!
God.
Oh fuck!
Theon.
The new Greyjoy who just bodied 8 people in the last episode of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bob Iger threw another guy off a bridge.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. You're on. Yeah. Oh, who fucking? Here's the thing. Real quick tangent on that. I thought it was awesome that he killed 10 people in one sitting, and then I was like, you just killed all of the Sand Snakes, all of them.
No, but he's cool though.
Yeah, and she had to be on Iron Fist.
I know.
So
It was kind of I'm like, you just jump out of all those characters who were pretty well established. But then again,
Yeah.
that's it seems like Game of Thrones is just rushing to the fucking finish line at this point. And even I guess even George R. R. Martin is like, shit, I thought they were going to last longer than this. He's like, I didn't really know they were going to be just run to the last season like this. Because he was probably expecting them to just wait until he finished that book, and no one on Earth is going to wait for him to finish that book. So
yeah.
Oh, it's after he finishes that 30th pizza too.
I think
with
God damn it.
with Captain Marvel,
I think
I'd read an
go ahead.
interview, or partially an interview with Brie Larson, and she'd said something along the lines of this isn't going to be an origin movie. She is already established as Captain Marvel within whatever Kree squad this is, or whatever the case might be. So I'm actually kind of excited to see how they're going to handle that. That they're not going to fall into the trope of it's another origin story. Let's do this.
Well, I mean,
was Doctor Strange before or after Homecoming?
before.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense because I feel like Homecoming was their way of going all right, we don't need to do origins anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything we saw says, I don't know if she's completely correct, because it does look like they're doing a little bit of origin, but they're not focusing on it, which is a smart.
Well, I don't know though, because I think the shots of her in the green suit is that's relatively early in the movie.
Well, we also see her at boot camp, so
Well, but that was the thing. From what I was reading, it's apparently that she has flashes of who this person was that she used to be.
Yeah,
so,
I read that too. I even says in the trailer, she's like, I have memories, but I don't know how they work and what they're connected to.
Mm-hmm. So I wonder if they're just going to use that as a way to quickly get around,
Which, by the way, Eric, I have to give you a big old thank you for sending me those books, because now I have way more context into the actual Carol Danvers character than I did before.
Good. Yeah,
because even in the Infinity Companion, she gets whole stories devoted to herself.
Mm-hmm.
Over her point of view during a massive galactic war.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. That, and you get to, in the trailer, you get to see her in that badass helmet too, which I was pretty happy about. You also got to see her in the Infinity stuff. Yeah. Yeah. It all around, it looks like yet another very well done Marvel film.
I'm just bummed that I'll probably never get to see her and Jessica Jones interact.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah.
I'm bummed we're never going to see
Trish,
James Gunn's Guardians and her interact.
Yeah. I'm bummed I'm not going to see Daredevil talking shit about Tony Stark. Pretty bummed about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got Stark Tower in that poster, right?
That's a weird. That's strange to begin with, but it's weird that they don't even try to do that, where it's they don't even comment on what's going on in the wider MCU.
No.
No one even these are global events, and no one even talks about them on the street level stuff.
Not since Daredevil season 1. Yeah. It's really weird.
It's gonna be extra awkward once they get past Infinity War, and then they're so half of the universe just disappeared, huh?
No, here I was actually thinking about that today. How long do you think they're to keep saying these shows take place before Infinity War?
Until they literally can't.
Yeah. Because I feel like that's going to be their excuse. It happens before. It's oh, yeah, really? All 7 seasons of these shows all take place before Infinity War?
Wow, it's one busy summer, huh?
Because around season 5, it's like, yeah, no, this is the same time. This is clearly like this is when it's
But
all
I'm excited
going down.
I'm excited for Captain Marvel because I'm also excited because Kevin Feige has said over and over again, like, she's basically gonna be like the power shift, and that she's gonna be the new bar as far as who's the strongest.
She's essentially gonna be Superman. Like,
Yeah,
It sounds like it, yeah.
and I'm kind of looking forward to the fact that, like, I have a feeling that, well, I actually have a bad feeling about what's going to happen to Guardians in Infinity War, except maybe a few of them.
Yeah.
I feel like they're going to get brought back in the snap, and then fucking Drax is going to get decapitated or something. But my hope was initially like Drax, Thor, and Captain Marvel just beat the fucking shit out of him.
See, I'm waiting for Bruce to finally get over whatever he and the Hulk have going on, and for Captain Marvel to throw the Hulk at Thanos. Like, pull a fastball special, except it's the Hulk.
You just put that in my head.
That's what I'm waiting. I'm waiting for all the basically like the cool character moments between this like new level of strength in this universe with everyone else who's been already established as like top tier guys.
Well, that I can't wait for the interactions with like Thor, Hulk, and Captain Marvel, where they're like, "Well, I'm technically the strongest Marvel, or I'm technically the strongest Avenger," and she's like, "No, you're not. No, you're not."
Here's the thing: it's funny because they just basically like without coming out and saying it, like Thor is currently the strongest Avenger. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, he kind of is, but I mean that's based
Thor
on
came in and wiped up the Wakanda battle in like
that whole sequence just seemed like we're so sorry for the last 2 movies. Like,
yeah, he came in with like I'm like, oh, Thor is OP now. He's not even regular OP. He's wiping the floor with an army by himself.
He got his hair cut and automatically was just like wrecking shot.
Yes.
His hair was his limiter. Oh shit.
To be fair, he did destroy an entire ice planet in the first movie, but that's beside the point. Okay.
Well, he didn't believe in himself enough. Okay.
I know, but still.
Back.
Yeah, he thought the hammer was his power.
Yeah.
And now he's like, I have a bigger hammer, and my hammer has an axe.
Yeah. Okay. In less exciting Marvel news,
Arlen, please have Captain Hammer be in this episode art.
We'll see. Okay, so Loki and Scarlet Witch might be getting TV series.
Okay, one of these things, yay. One of these things, don't you dare. Anybody guess which one of those things they are?
Loki?
Okay,
don't you
here's the
dare.
thing. I'm going to cut you off right now. I know a way that they could do Loki,
Said in the past,
but they're not smart enough to do that. No, so do you remember the Loki series that they did
Agent of
leading up
Asgard.
to
When he was younger?
and he was a clone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He was a clone. He was basically Loki with all his negative tendencies removed. Basically,
Yeah.
like he was basically like his D&D character sheet just flipped.
He's chaotic neutral now.
Yeah. So I think that's what they should do, but they're not going to do that. They're just going to bring back Tom Hiddleston and whatever.
Have
so,
him in 6 episodes and then do something different.
Yeah, but will they? Like, will they bring? Like, will Tom Hiddleston do a show?
Exactly. Well,
here's the thing. I don't know how this works if you don't. Like, yeah.
Well,
it depends on what his contract said too.
And I know he loves that character. I know he loves it to death. But like, I know a lot of these people are also like, they don't want to be held down to these characters for their entire careers,
Or worse, typecast.
and that too. And like, that's a fair worry. And I feel like Disney might be trying to shackle these people like forever.
Oh yeah. I think that's a
Again,
guarantee.
Bob Iger would create slaves if he could. So
Oh, god damn it, not again.
This episode should be called "The Character Assassination of Bob Iger." Like,
God damn it.
I'm coming for you, Bob Iger.
Yeah, no, I mean it's
like
I
Elizabeth
feel-
Olsen's one thing because Elizabeth Olsen didn't really blow up. Actually, I don't think she even actually has blown up yet because she's still pretty young as far as I understand.
No, she's getting cats and things with Quicksilver.
Yeah.
And she was in the Old Boy remake. That's the thing.
Do not talk about that film.
I could see her actually being in the show just because she probably got brought into the Marvel Universe when they already had the ball rolling enough that they would put something like that in the contract.
She is fucking 29. Not even 30.
They're gonna work her until she's in her 40s. Yeah.
And again, if they're doing the Scarlet Witch series, which I fucking loved, where she basically tells Quicksilver, "Yeah, I'm not fucking getting involved in Civil War 2 because fuck you. I've been turned into a weapon so many times. I've killed my own friends. Fuck you. I'm not doing this shit." Like, yeah, if that's what they're doing, I'm in. But
why do they need?
I don't see that happening.
Why do they need a Civil War 2?
It's just going to be a domestic soap opera with her and Vision.
Yeah, that's not what I want. I want her going around the world and like fixing weird psychic problems. I don't know how they'll do an exact translation of the book because it's in the book she's still a witch, or she's still like an actual sorceress, or
it's her and Vision traveling around the world fixing their relationship problems.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a happy medium between these two things.
I'm going to steal this joke from somewhere I saw. Or it's we're following their relationship and Vision tells her he's going to spice up the relationship, and then she lays down. She's like, "It's paprika," and he's like, "No," and she's like, "Yes, it is," and he's like, "Damn it, I can't taste anything."
Can we get a Vision sitcom where it's him and his fake robot family?
I mean, sure.
God, that's not a sitcom.
Sure.
That is not a sitcom.
Here's the thing. Sure. I mean, yes, but it'll be canceled before the first episode comes out.
Yes.
Relevant.
Oh, all of you need to go read that Tom King.
It's really
Vision.
good.
It's really good, but it's dark as fuck.
Yes.
I need to read that, and we were talking about the Flintstones recently.
Oh my god, that is the best
and
book.
how it's like shockingly dark but really funny.
Yeah, doesn't Fred have like PTSD from being in the equivalent of the Vietnam War?
Yeah.
Oh,
I saw one panel where like some guy is like trying to call the suicide prevention hotline and gets put through like 4 bullshit automated customer service menus.
Oh god.
Jesus Christ.
Connor, there's
Yabba dabba doo.
God damn it.
There's some pretty good stuff with the animal tools that they have.
I'm sure there are. I need to check. Ugh,
like there's an entire subplot.
Body.
Okay. These comics are cool.
Like these TV shows, like I don't want them to unkill Loki, and and this is also to people who keep asking for it. Stop trying to undo that Infinity War moment because you just don't get it if that's what you want.
Yep.
Like it was the culmination of his character's entire journey. To bring him back would be to just sully all of that.
Well,
I agree.
Yeah, but we also have seen some behind the scenes photos. So,
No.
We'll see what happens.
That is shenanigans via time travel. Like that's still evil Loki. Like I don't. If they do resurrect him through that way, I'm still gonna be pissed because like you totally made that entire sequence meaningless.
Yeah, no, I'm not interested in that. Again, Agents of Asgard. If they do a version of that, that could be something interesting because that's a Loki who's basically innocent, dealing with the crimes of the other Loki.
I have an idea for these TV shows. Hear me out.
Yeah.
Hear me out on this.
Okay.
Why don't you just make new fucking characters to have shows?
I mean, but Hunter, that would take effort.
Or why not pull from, I don't know, all the hundreds of thousands of storylines that you have with other people in them and make shows with those?
I don't get it, really.
The Dark Phoenix saga has to be told as many times as humanly possible.
And never told correctly either. Yeah.
Well,
I don't
no,
know.
that's not true. Ma Phoenix is brilliant. Okay.
That's not being told by Marvel. Like,
I don't know.
just
I'm still bothered by the fact that these are the two characters that they chose. By the way,
Yeah.
not bringing back Agent Carter, not not doing any number of other things that would be more interesting.
There
Yeah.
are literally hundreds, like thousands of characters even that they could just pull and be like, all right, you got a show now. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and they wait
Yeah.
this new platform on Loki and Scarlet Witch. You know what I mean?
And there's this budget range that they haven't really touched. It's like they have the super low budget. They have
Hogan Dagger.
ABC. Yeah, no, that still counts as the ABC budget. And then they have the movies, and there's this sort of like in between area where the effects are actually good and the acting is good.
Yeah.
So
and the writing
we're gonna
is
get
good.
a fuck Odin from Loki.
Yeah, probably.
Let me. Every time I see more from that show, I'm like, fuck every single one of you behind this show.
It just to me,
Yeah.
like, I'm not really interested in this. I want new thing. Like, why isn't there? Again, I keep asking for this. I know I never get it. Where's my Moon Knight show? Where is it?
Here's the
Come on.
thing: this new Disney streaming service, it's the perfect place for Moon Knight. It's the perfect place for it. It really
I mean, is it though?
And-
Because if you get this and it's under the Disney umbrella, like it's not going to be the Moon Knight you want. It's going to be a sanitized Moon Knight.
I
Yeah.
keep on saying it, the touchstone wing, the touchstone
We'll
area
see,
of the
though.
streaming site.
I don't trust that they're going to be that forward, or at least that ballsy
He's
initially.
not going to be cutting people's.
Here's the thing, though. I don't know why you buy. Again, we've said it before. I don't know why you buy the rights to the Predator or Alien if you're not gonna make
Well, yeah,
like
okay.
real Predator movies.
There's also been talk
Like-
about Disney just shuttering those franchises basically indefinitely.
Yep.
which is dumb.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't matter because does it make as much money as they want it to make? No. All right, shutter it. We've got a
Okay,
billion other ideas.
Shutter it, and
Here's the thing,
does it
though.
make enough money? And is it family friendly? No, shutter it.
Yep.
Yeah, but that doesn't make sense.
Neither
they
does
did
firing
this for the
gun. Like,
No,
Yeah.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, none of that makes sense, okay? You don't buy the rights to Die Hard and then put Die Hard in a closet. That doesn't...
But I
that
mean, are
doesn't
we talking
jive.
about all this stuff coming part and parcel with the Fox deal?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they didn't want any of that other bullshit except for a few select things.
No, they wanted the entire library. That was their
Yeah, so
explicit
they
reasoning.
can have it on their streaming service and just do that over and over again.
Yeah.
There
okay,
you go. There you can show
No,
show
it wasn't
Predator
just that,
1
it
and
was-
2 in perpetuity forever.
It's not just that. Okay. This is part of we talked about this before. They are planning to go to war with Netflix. I'm not joking when I say that. That's not hyperbole.
I totally get that. But
In order to do that, you need to compete with Netflix in every single arena. You need to compete with the Maniacs and the, take your pick of any shows on Netflix that are X-rated almost, and C-17 shit that they do. You need to compete with that as well if you're actually going to go head-to-head with Netflix. So I don't believe for a second that they will not have a section of their streaming service that is devoted towards more grown-up entertainment. I don't believe that for a second. Bob Iger isn't dumb.
But
I
he
just-
is evil.
I feel like they're going to have enough stuff from this acquisition that they're not going to have to worry about that for a little while.
I mean, I agree, sure, but I don't buy it that they wouldn't touch any of the stuff eventually, or just sell it off.
Disney's squeaky clean image isn't always 100% what they're committed to.
Also, I don't believe anybody. Okay, the people that still believe in the squeaky clean image are lying to themselves. Okay, because they also watch ESPN, and ESPN is not squeaky clean.
I don't believe that Disney has a squeaky clean image. I believe that Disney thinks they have a squeaky clean image, or at least is projecting they have a squeaky clean image, and don't want that perception of them to be changed.
It's more
Then
or
they
less.
should have made the Pirates of the Caribbean films.
Okay, but still, like, but they're fucking dumb. They're not grown up. They're dumb as fuck. I don't care if what's his face
it's
shot
less-
some Asian prostitute in the face in the third movie. Those movies are retarded.
No, I agree. Yeah.
It's like it's the fact that I don't think they want these screaming moms to go like, "What do you mean Disney made a Predator movie?" Bah!
But that's kind of the
that's
point.
the thing.
Like
They've been
they don't
making
want
those
their
kinds
food
of
touched.
movies.
They don't want their food.
Yeah, but-
touched. That's what they
Yeah,
don't want.
Again, like if you okay, I'm saying if you put a button in there that says this is only for grown-ups, I don't think parents can say shit
You
about
really think that parents give a fuck about a parental button? They buy their kids Grand Theft Auto.
I don't know. The people that
They do give a
don't
fuck about
go to
parental
Netflix are so
No,
small.
they do until their kid is watching it because like they just aren't supervising it, and like
Yeah.
they stupidly let their child into this adult section, and then all of a sudden it's the company's fault and not their dumbass fault for not supervising.
And really, the only thing the parents like that care about is if their kids see anything sexually oriented.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
don't care about the violence.
Yeah,
No, okay, that's the thing. I don't think Disney's going to make anything sexual. That's the.
Yeah, God
There's going to be no
forbid.
sex on these shows.
I don't have
That's
genitals.
why. That's why the Netflix stuff, the Netflix Marvel stuff, is going to stay there because it's so sexual. It's so
I
inherently
love the fact
sexual.
that it's sexual and violent, but nobody ever says fuck.
Yep. Yeah.
And I told you they censored the word fuck in the Tom Waits song in Punisher. I'm like, he's beating people with a sledgehammer, but you censored the F word?
Yeah, because we care more about sex in this
I'm all
country than we do
smooth.
about violence.
Gorge, I got
no
genitals. You can't say F word in front of me.
Okay. Please tell me, Eric, you saw the panel I put. In
Yeah.
the fucking...
Yes, I saw that. Yeah. Yeah. Goofy fucks.
But that also
Okay.
that goes hand in hand with like my fucking just disgust with how America treats sexual content in any kind of medium. It's like, oh god, a pair of titties, the world is ending.
Yeah,
And I think like you said, Disney will produce anything sexual because like we're a country full of prudes apparently.
Hmm. Yeah, but they'll do fucking graphic violence like easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if you go through the Touchstone library, some of it's the most gruesome stuff. You've ever
Well,
seen.
hell, even the Miramax library.
In Tarzan, you can see the villain's hanging body. Like they don't care about that shit.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah.
here's the thing: that's a cartoon. It's not real art.
There's
According
still
to
a
some post I saw recently.
there's still a man hanging from a tree.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
Scar got eaten by fucking hyenas, and Ursula was impaled, struck by lightning, and then dissolved.
Yeah.
Sounds like Party Man. All right, what's our next story?
What was it?
It was Fukunaga directing the Bond movie.
Yep,
Yeah.
and I'm fucking excited.
Yes.
I'm fucking hyped.
Yes.
I just like just fucking release a goddamn James Bond movie. Stop all this this production nonsense.
Well, yeah, because
I'm
you
just
see
thinking of
that Henry
episode.
Cavill might
Go
be
ahead.
good fun. Did you see that Henry Cavill is being considered?
I'd seen that. Yeah.
that's been an old thing though. That's been a rumor for a while now.
Pretty cool. I'd be okay with that. But that's
All
just
Because Barbara's she's
I'm
an old cad.
All I'm
so,
thinking of
yeah.
is episode 4 of the first season of True Detective, the one that takes place in the tenements,
Yeah.
where he's trying to
Yeah.
get the guy out. I'm thinking about how frenetic that action scene is, and how amazing it'll look if it's in a James Bond setting. Like it's done so well. I want it all. I want all of that movie in my eye holes right now.
I just like I'm
Yeah, I want
stunned. I'm stunned that like it's this difficult to get a James Bond movie off the ground.
Well,
And like Arlen, you would know more about it than I do because here's the thing. It's not that I don't like James Bond. My fucking dad raised me on it. Like I think I saw Goldfinger and You Only Live Twice like 100 times throughout my childhood.
right.
But like I don't, and you can kind of give me shit for this all you want. Like Quantum of Solace drained the wind out of me.
Yeah, that's
Well,
okay.
you
I've said
don't-
this before
yeah.
though. That's the worst Bond.
Yeah, no, it is the worst
So-
Bond, and it's the last Bond I saw in theaters. And like
So maybe watch some of the better ones.
Well, no,
Yeah.
no, and I saw like I've heard such weird mixed things about the last 2 Bond movies. I'm like, I don't even know.
No,
If I
okay.
should
The
go-
people
Skyfall
that
is
are telling
great.
you mixed things about Skyfall are wrong. All of them are wrong.
Yeah, Skyfall
There
is
are
great.
plot. there are things that are wrong with the plot of Skyfall if you really want to get nerdy and like, ew, this doesn't make sense.
Well, yeah, I've heard they kind of go a little jackhammery in terms of like, is he James Bond or is James Bond a code name?
No, you see,
no, they full on answer that.
Okay.
Yeah, they answer that.
Yeah.
They give you some answers in a gravestone shape. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Fucking no. Watch Skyfall. It's fucking great.
Yeah.
Never watch Spectre.
Yeah.
I
never watched
Spectre
Spectre.
on like
Okay,
4 different
wait,
occasions.
okay, hold on. Like, which one is worse, Quantum or Spectre?
Quantum. No, Spectre because they had more time. They had more time to
And
do
they-
it,
yeah,
and they
did,
didn't. They shouldn't
okay,
have messed
yeah.
up.
From
Christoph
Inglourious
Waltz.
Basterds. Thank
Yeah,
you.
okay.
It's the same director.
Now,
it's the same
yeah,
director.
and, like-
it's the same team.
Yeah, and like
It's-
from what I
it's a
understand,
bigger-
like Quantum is the result of the writer's strike, is it not?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It's basically a car crash.
I don't think it. I don't think it excuses it because it doesn't excuse Transformers 2. Like, it doesn't.
No,
excuse
but there are
any
a lot
that
of
stuff.
movies I look at. I'm like, okay,
Transformers.
I don't
2
like
had a
this.
chance, Connor.
yeah. It's like Into Darkness. This movie's broken because they had to reuse the entire third act of Wrath of Khan. But whatever. It happens. But what were we talking about? Bond.
How difficult it is to get a Bond movie off the ground.
Well, it's okay. There's a lot of stuff that we can't go into right now. But the thing is, the Broccoli's are responsible for it, which is 2 people, and they sometimes have weird opinions about what these movies should be and where they should go, and not all the directors are able to deal with that. So that's
I'm sorry.
what happens.
Who owns it? Who are they?
The Broccoli family, Barbara Broccoli and Michael G. Wilson.
Wait, that's actually their name?
Yeah.
Are they like? Do they have any kind
McCoy.
of affiliation with Fleming or?
No, other than they bought the film rights years ago.
Okay, so the book rights still belong to the Fleming estate, and the movie rights.
Yeah,
still, okay.
yeah.
This is something I
No,
have not followed for years, so forgive me.
Yeah, no, I'm. Yeah, most people don't know about this. The Broccoli families. If you want to know about the behind the scenes stuff, what is it called?
Better watch out for the carrot family. They're coming for those right.
Oh God, what is it
I
called?
heard the rutabagas were bad too.
Oh, this is the worst joke you've ever told.
Everything or Nothing, the documentary. If you
Okay.
want to learn more about the behind the scenes stuff, but no, the Broccoli family is very demanding, and they have very specific ideas about what Bond is supposed to be. So that's what happens.
What you're saying,
when the director
basically, if
leaves.
someone comes up with like something particularly bold or kind of out of the box, like they go no.
Yeah, if it's too out of the box or too outside of what their idea was, yeah,
Don't do it.
Okay.
Don't do it.
Do it.
Well, correct me
yeah.
if I'm wrong here. Was Quantum of Solace supposed to be a direct sequel to Casino Royale?
I mean, it
It is a direct sequel.
Okay,
It
so
picks
that
up
was
10 minutes
the
later.
biggest mistake they made.
Yeah.
That's-
I don't know. There's a lot of mistakes. in that movie.
and they also they killed off my British sweetheart Gemma Arterton in like 15 minutes
I'm dead.
in like a
I
really
just,
lame homage to Goldfinger. I'm like, I don't give a shit about this. Put her back in the movie.
I managed to avoid Quantum of Solace because I heard all of the bad press about it. So I'm like, nope, I'm gonna avoid this one. Oh, what's Skyfall? Oh, this was really good. I'll imagine that Quantum of Solace didn't exist.
Here's the thing. It's not that the movie doesn't have good moments to it, but overall, it's just like
It's really
boring.
Yeah, I would say it's really boring. It put me to sleep
Thing is, I feel bad
in a
for
movie theater surrounded by speakers larger than my head.
the second time I saw Phantom Menace that happened.
I believe it.
I feel bad. Yeah, I saw it twice. Yeah, hey, I saw it in the theaters when it was first coming out. Give me a break.
Yeah, that's not that crazy. I know.
Yeah.
I've heard of people who went to see it 15 times. So like,
But I feel bad for the girl who played or the woman who played the Bond girl in Quantum of Solace.
Dude,
'Cause
okay, I
she
feel
was
bad
she was the hooker from Hitman, wasn't she?
I feel bad for Olga Kurylenko altogether because she was in Hitman, and then she was in Max Payne, and then she was in Quantum of Solace, and I never saw her again after that. I was like, you
damn
poor
it.
girl, you're beautiful and you can act like this.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and
She's
she's
in
got
the new
webbed
Johnny
toes
English
or something
film.
like that.
She has what?
She has webbed toes, apparently, if I remember correctly.
Weird. I don't care. I
Yeah.
don't care.
Well, she grew up near Chernobyl, right?
Maybe.
Or is that something I made
Be
up?
surprised.
Because
Yeah, she gets
now.
she gets hacked to bits off screen in Max Payne.
Wait, was that her or Mila Kunis?
That was well,
Can't remember.
they are both in the movie.
Well, yeah, because they play sisters, but I can't.
Yes, they play the Sax sisters.
Step away from the camera. We're gonna chop you to bits now.
Mia Kunis plays Mona Sax, and Olga's playing her sister.
Mm-hmm.
And like I sat in that theater and I was like, oh, you got the Sax sisters. Oh no, you fucked this up. Oh, you fucked this up. Oh, you fucked this up royally.
Well, they fucked it up in a number of ways that we won't go into on this show. But I don't know. Fukunaga, he's a fucking great director.
Yes.
I watched all of Maniac in the last 12 hours, so like, or 24 hours, I guess. And it's fucking great. It's a good show. Go watch that. And Beast of No Nation. That's the movie he did on Netflix. That movie's fucking really cool too. So yeah. I don't know. I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, I'll wait and see. My dad will be excited regardless.
Yeah. You should watch Skyfall though.
Yeah,
go
I
do
probably
that.
should.
Yeah.
I'll get right on.
I'll do it right away.
Yeah, you should.
I might. Fucking salt.
Cool.
Thanks, bud.
God damn it. Okay. Okay. So, I think we're all running out of juice here. So we're in the extras. I'm just gonna read these off, and let's just respond to the one that sounds most interesting for the sake of time. Jordan Peele officially announced that he's bringing back the Twilight Zone. Patrick Stewart has been cast as Bosley in the new Charlie's Angels remake. And the Apostle trailer came out.
Yeah.
So
Jordan Peele, though, Jordan Peele is also going to be hosting it, if I remember correctly, the Twilight Zone.
Yes,
Which I think is awesome. Like
I like the fact that I live in a world where Twilight Zone is back whilst Black Mirror is still a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I saw a great little post about these. It was like someone kind of offhandedly compared Black Mirror to Twilight Zone by saying like Black Mirror is basically ooh technology is evil and Twilight Zone is kind of a little more heady. And someone was like, let me correct you on that. Black Mirror is like maybe technology is too integrated in our lives and let's examine how it changes us. And Twilight Zone is long drag of a cigarette. Let me tell you why you deserve the hell you've created.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Here's the thing: both things apply to both shows.
I know. I was like, that's a really funny summation of Twilight Zone.
No, it's Twilight Zone. I have hope for, but I worry because it got a revival in the mid '80s, if I remember correctly, and
the 2000s.
Oh, I thought that was. Oh yeah, that was. Was that the one that was hosted by Forrest Whitaker?
I believe.
Or was that?
So.
Or was that the Outer Limits?
Is that the Outer Limits?
No, there was a Canadian one. It was produced in Canada, and it didn't have a host.
Yeah, it wasn't that scary, eh?
Oh,
God damn it.
We go get some syrup. Oh no, we're out of it. No.
We don't have.
But
any
it did
Molson,
have.
We just have Budweiser.
It did have season-wide arcs, though.
I'm sorry, Canada.
Which is the weird thing.
Wait, it had season arcs?
Yeah, because they had this. So the episode where the guy gets sent back in time to Nazi Germany, that they've done in every iteration of the show, and in the movies. They tied that into the rest of the stories, and the character from that who brings the dude back to Nazi Germany, he is traveling throughout the show, and he's in the background, like setting things up and like observing things. So yeah, they tied things together.
That sounds like a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Back to the Nazi Germany.
Because Canada.
Yeah, because the Twilight Zone that came back in the '80s actually had some really good episodes, and it also had a lot
written
of crap.
by George Railroad Martin.
Shit. The one that came out later on from Canada, like you just said, was terrible. And same thing with the Outer Limits. Like there were some really great Outer Limits episodes. Like there was the one with the oldest bridges. I can't remember which one that is. That Bow Bridges.
Bow.
Staff
Bukes.
Bridges.
Dude, he
And,
was
like-
also in Max Payne.
The Sand Kings, like that was phenomenal, but that was the only one that really got a whole lot of mention because everything else was kind of mediocre. But I thought that was also on like Showtime or something like that when it first came back.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Are they gonna do that one episode where there's a gremlin on the wing?
Someone wing. There's something.
They can do it for the third time. Maybe they can bring back Dan Aykroyd. He can ask you if you want to see something really scary, and then he'll tell you about Crystal Skull vodka for 2 hours.
And then he'll tell you how the Men in Black came to his apartment and told him to shut his production down or something.
Exactly.
I would like a sequel with John Lithgow, like years later. Like, no one believes me about the Gremlin. No one believes me. Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that movie in years. Doesn't it kiss him?
I think it does. It gets. I can't.
gets,
I
like,
actually can't remember if he.
I swear to God that like it kind of ends with that thing just giving John Lithgow a big old fucking kiss in the mouth and then just like
I know
jumps off the plane.
I know he survives because he drives away with Dan Aykroyd.
Well,
and then the Gremlin is on the back of the truck.
Yeah, he's in a hospital van, or he's in he's an ambulance. That's the name of it.
Yeah, ambulance.
The idea.
Two of us have blacked out on ambulance. Okay, this is going to be on CBS All Access, so I'm into it. I'm into it because I've only seen fucking Discovery, but Discovery was good enough for me to be behind this. So yeah, this will be
something.
I've heard bad things about Discovery, but from very untrusted sources. But I also haven't started it yet. So
yeah, you heard bad things from Alan also. Alan hadn't even finished it.
I was
so
I was skirting around. I also what's it called? Talking about someone else I know who I've talked about in the chat recently, who is kind of an old man.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't care though. That's the thing.
Oh no,
Discovery's great.
I gave him shit for it.
Yeah, you should.
The Patrick Stewart as Bosley thing, I don't care.
I
Yeah,
care.
that one is just like
I care way more that he's going to be Picard again.
Yeah.
I agree. I just really like Patrick Stewart getting work. So
I do
that's why
too.
I put this on here.
I would much rather he was able to take his pit bull that he lovingly adopted back to England with him, but that's neither here nor there.
I mean,
Wait, what do you mean?
yeah,
What do you mean?
that's fair.
He can't?
No,
Yeah.
like I don't know if there's a video going around like a couple months ago, maybe longer than that, where he rescued a pit bull, and it was just him like greeting the pit bull as it came to his door with the person who was from the rescue, and him just hanging out with it and whatnot. And then you find out like however many months later, like, oh yeah, he wasn't allowed to bring it over to England with him.
That's.
Yeah.
But I know, like, see, a friend of mine moved to Australia, and like because pit bulls are not indigenous to Australia, like she had to be quarantined, all kind of stuff like that, just to make sure like she wasn't carrying anything.
Mm-hmm.
But what is it? Is it like a breed discrimination thing?
I think it is. I think it's something like that, kind of like how they had in Canada.
Come on, Britain.
It's really weird.
Let me put a blanket statement out to both of you countries. That's fucking stupid. I live with 3. They're harmless.
Yep. They're sweet dogs.
They're sweet nanny dogs who are gigantic babies. Also, newsflash: if something has teeth, it can bite. And no, their jaws do not lock. That's a myth. Like,
cut to
jaws,
Queen Elizabeth
their
taking
jaws,
their teeth out.
if their
Take-
jaws locked, I would not be able to medicate them. As my job as a medical professional, you bunch of troglodytes.
What? Okay.
Yep.
What's the dumbest thing about that myth for me? Like, that seems like a myth that other dogs start, because like why would there ever be a dog who basically can just like tear your arm off like immediately? Since we domesticated them, like,
Yeah.
why would we put that into dogs?
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
Also,
good
like, let me tell you something else. As a medical professional who works with animals, you know what dogs I'm more afraid of? Dachshunds, Chihuahuas, Shih Tzus, rat terriers, small, itty bitty, fearful little things who will tear your finger off because they think you're a giant monster coming to kill them. Also, a woman in this country was killed by 7 dachshunds.
Yep. Anyways, I don't know. Patrick Stewart, Here's the thing. I'm not even sure I'm gonna watch this new Charlie's Angels movie. I can't remember if it's a movie or a TV show.
Not give a less of a shit about Charlie's Angels.
Yeah,
I really couldn't either. But
and I'm someone who's like, I'm really for better female representation in all these in movies and TV. Like, if you gave me the money and the power, I would just make a movie about Okoye, Scarlet Witch, and Black Widow pounding around and beating the shit out of people.
Yes.
That was my no lie, my fucking favorite moment in Infinity Wars, and the three of them were kicking Proxima Midnight's ass.
yeah.
Yes.
And then Scarlet Witch killed her in the most ghastly way I've seen a Marvel villain get killed so far.
I mean, fucking kick someone into a jet propeller too.
God damn it! Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's never not amusing to me. It's like, goddamn, Bucky, calm down.
You just kick some, like.
But I also don't give a shit about Charlie's Angels. But I do want
his voice would sound cool though.
I do want Patrick Stewart to keep working, and I'm glad he's gonna be Picard again because I think we need his voice in this time. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And then
Picard's guidance.
Yeah. Apostle trailer. Fuck, I can't wait for this movie.
I don't know what this is.
I can't wait. It's Gareth Evans, director of The Raid, and it's Dan Stevens. What do you need? What more do you need?
Oh, okay.
Than that?
I didn't get to watch this trailer because I was at work, but I just read Gareth Edwards and Dan Stevens. I was like, I don't care what this is about. I don't care if he's painting a fence.
No, he's fighting a cult, which sounds fucking rad.
Yeah, it's like this weird fucking religious cult in the late
shut up and give it to me.
1800s.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. There's people in fucking hoods and shit, and fucking
and weird torture devices, and
yeah,
fun for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Dan Stevens our MVP of fucking everything. So yeah, like.
And I showed you guys what Gareth Edwards is capable of with a fucking camera. So. Mm-hmm. He'll disguise cameramen as car seats.
God damn it! I can't wait for this. I can't wait for this movie.
I can't believe he did that, and he was like, "Yeah, that'll work."
Also, well, that entire for those who may not know what I'm talking about, in the Raid 2, there's an action sequence where it's basically a car chase between two moving vehicles, and at some point, like the camera is in one vehicle, and then you see it never cuts. The camera leaves said vehicle, enters the driver's seat of another window, and then goes out the back window of that vehicle, down to a man laying in a rig that is attached to a moving vehicle. It's insane looking, and Gareth Edwards is a madman. There's like 16 people, like all on like these fucking 65-mile-an-hour moving rigs and vehicles, passing cameras around manually.
Yeah, and then there's, like I said, there's someone dressed as a car seat. Like,
yeah, just to keep the illusion going, there's a cameraman disguised as a car seat. Like a fucking Office prank. Like,
it's so great.
So good. And then there was something else he did where I showed you guys the bathroom stall sequence where the main character, Ranma, is defending himself in a prison stall. And it's against like a mob of like 20, 30 people. And they finally break the door down, and he just starts handing these people their asses on silver platters. But the way they film it, it looks like they can fit more than a few people in this thing because the walls attached to this stall were movable, and every time one of the walls wasn't in frame, it was pulled back by a crew to give them more space.
Awesome.
Yeah, the guy knows action.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all you need to do is see the first Raid movie, and then also watch his sequence on VHS, and you're good to go.
Well, there's that, and the Raid 2 has actually both Raid movies have. Everyone here seen the Raid 1, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the Raid 1 has that fight sequence at the end where it's Ranma and his brother against, I think it's like Wild Dog or Mad Dog, that character.
Yeah.
That's like 7 minutes long. He does that again in Raid 2, but it's one-on-one between Ranma and some knife-wielding psychopath in a kitchen, and they tear this kitchen to pieces.
It's so good.
It is unbelievable. They start in the middle of this kitchen, fight around a table, on an oven, through like a glass wine closet. They're hitting each other with bottles. Both of them are getting sliced to bits. They use pans, fists, kicks, like kitchen knives, other utensils, walls, everything. It's one of the most brutal fight sequences I've ever seen. And this is after Ranma puts a baseball bat through somebody's face.
Like Punisher punches a man in the face so hard it explodes.
Okay,
I might watch the Raid 2 again after this because
I can't explain that sequence at all to you because like he puts a fist through the man's face and then shoots the other guy in the face with a shotgun from like 2 feet away, and there's no mess. Like his head just explodes. Like a balloon. It goes, and there's nothing. And then what's his face is like, God damn it, Castle!
It's so good.
As if he knew it was going to happen. Just pissed that he did it anyway.
I fucking love that movie so much.
I can't wait for us to talk about it. The whole thing, from start to finish. I think somebody on How Did This Get Made said it has like the fastest time between beginning of movie and decapitation he's ever seen. Yeah,
it's so good.
I want my applesauce, Alan.
My applesauce. What is your problem with Looney Bin Jim?
I just don't like the actor.
Okay.
I think it sounded like he was phone. It was like he was phoning it in.
What?
I think you saw a different movie than us, man.
You know what phoning it in means? That guy is...
No. I fucked it up. He went too over the top.
Oh, okay. Here's the thing. That is an acceptable answer. I don't agree, but it's an acceptable answer.
It would be acceptable in any other movie that didn't involve someone doing parkour and getting shot out of the air with a rocket launcher, okay? Dude. That's the problem.
The funniest...
I know, here's the thing. I agree with you, but...
The funniest part of Looney Bin was karate.
Yeah, he knows fucking he knows like capoeira, like
yeah,
he's like rolling over the goddamn floor. He's like a spider monkey fighting Frank Castle, who's like played by Ray Stevenson, who's like Tom Jane was scary because he looked tactical scary. Ray Stevenson, is it Ray Stevenson?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Ray Stevenson looks like he could punch my face into oblivion.
Yeah,
I really like his Frank Castle a lot. 'Cause I'm like, he looks old and like he's been doing this for decades. Oh, where am I also coming from?
Oh, I don't know.
Oops. Ghost me is somewhere. But I think we can wrap.
Yeah.
That's everything.
Grab this bat.
I've been Connor McGraw. We have several Movie Dumpster episodes in the pipes now. We just did American Werewolf in Paris, and oh my god. That is a fucking irredeemable, inexcusable pile of shit. The opening lines of that show is me just going, "This movie sucks."
But it's got extreme sports.
I cracked that joke. Apparently, we found out that movie was supposed to be a direct sequel to American Werewolf in London, and the guys who directed Freaked were supposed to come in, write and direct it. And the studio was like, no, we want someone cheaper. First they said, no, we want bankable movie director. And then they went with the guy who directed nothing.
Wait, really? They didn't go with Alex Winter? Really?
Yeah,
I really gotta respect someone who just immediately goes against their word.
Yeah, they were like, we can't use you guys because we want to use. They're like, we use a script, but you can't direct it. We'll get somebody who's a better name. And they got someone who directed like Mute Witness, and that was it. Who then went on to direct like some really shitty movies.
That's really kind of disappointing that Alex Winter didn't get a chance to direct it, because he was the one who directed Freaked, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. They wanted to do it with all practical effects, and like that movie has some of the most abominable looking CGI I've ever seen in my entire life. Like the werewolves in that movie look like horses with birth defects.
You're being kind.
Or bears with mange, like depending on what kind of shot you're looking at, and not a single thing in that movie is practical. Everything is CGI, and it's butt fucking ugly, and I hated it so goddamn much. And thanks, Matt Curione, for ruining my day. That was his pick.
Of course, that's him.
Yeah, well, he had only seen it recently, and he was like, "This is a fucking train wreck." And he saw that before he saw American Werewolf in London, so he at least got to go. he got to go cleanse his palate with the first one. That was the better one.
Well, Matt had also said like, "Oh yeah, Matt, the American Werewolf is great, but it's I didn't grow up with it, so I don't think it's as amazing as everyone else makes it out to be." Which, god damn it, no, that movie is phenomenal. It's perfect.
It's a great fucking movie.
Yes.
I mean, to be fair, I think I watched Paris first, but like I remember not liking it then. Like,
well, like,
I remember
and
hating it.
here's one more bit of trivia about Paris. Like, whoever, if you've seen it, do you remember how the Seraphine, the love interest, her dead mother is British, even though she is French?
Mm-hmm.
Because this movie was supposed to be a direct sequel to American Werewolf in London, and the werewolf in this movie was supposed to be the daughter of a character from the first movie.
Wow.
Yes. And then all that was cut from the script, and then you have these weird artifacts left from the writing process.
Why would you keep them in?
I don't. That's the weird thing. We couldn't even figure it out during the we had a conversation about it. None of it made sense to us. So we still got that. Guyver 2 is still on its way out.
Hell yeah.
That's taken a little while to edit because it was just a monstrous
The greatest
episode.
movie ever made.
Crocodile Hunter is still coming out, and our next film is going to be Idle Hands because we're doing a Halloween month. Yeah,
that movie's actually not bad, and it's
I
actually
know
got some really ridiculous kills in it.
We're pretty excited to watch it because every time we approach something that we remember being really good, we get really excited because I think with Equilibrium we're like. I remember liking it as a teenager, but there's no way it aged well. And then we were like, holy shit, it aged beautifully. This movie's still really good.
And Idle Hands has some real creepy shots of Jessica Alba.
I know what happened to American Werewolf in Paris. Guess who produced it?
Oh, no.
Buena Vista Pictures.
Scott Bucks?
No, Buena Vista is that's the corporate name for Disney. You're trying to send Disney mail.
Yes, it is.
But remember, they're going to have an adult section on
their There's a
yeah, they will. Called Buena Vista.
There's a Buena Vista Boulevard in downtown Disney, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yep.
Yeah, so there's that. We're doing a Trick or Trash month for October. All Halloween themed stuff. We instead of at the end of every episode, instead of putting the dumpster, we decide which bad candy this movie is.
I want to know what gets Necco wafers.
Someone already picked Bit of Honey, and I was like, wow. Yeah. So there's that. You have that to look forward to. So yeah, I think, and after that, I'm not sure what we're doing. It's Joe's pick. So, and with Joe, the sky is the limit. So,
yeah. Haro on all the places, all the things. Fucking Lost Haro podcast every single week, except this week because we took this week off. But yeah, we're coming back. Yeah, we're coming back next Friday with the episode that Connor was on, starting off our sort of Halloween thing that we're doing, going deep on the horror movies because Sayor has only seen 5 before, so
yeah, and
this is his education.
It's not even 5 essentials; it's 5 random things.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen Jack Frost. I've seen
yeah. God damn it!
Yeah, it's I've seen Howling 3.
Yeah. So yeah,
is that the one that takes
some
place
things?
in Australia?
Yeah, that is.
Oh.
I've actually heard that one's not bad of all the sequels, which I don't believe you, but sure, why not?
I also, Arlen, I did mention your line about how you brought up the fact that American Werewolf and Howling both have 2 really bad sequels.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And the Howling just kept on doing it. Just kept on doing it. Just what was I gonna... But yeah, I had some things in my house that needed to be corrected, and I'm correcting them. So yeah.
Whoa, okay. Damn.
Hey, if I can throw in a Shining reference and a Grady reference, I will. So yeah.
I guess I've been hunted out before. Don't follow me on any social media ever. Even if you're thinking about...
I like your sign-offs went from cynical to just
Listen, here's the thing. Fuck you. That's what I mean. Yeah, look out for Monster Mash coming Halloween. We did.
Yeah.
We did some stuff on that show. Lost Hero Games is coming. Look out for that October 20th, and that's it, really.
Alan, you still with us?
Yes, I'm still here. I just
Here comes the fucking showdown between who's gonna sign off last.
Someone got Alan's applesauce, so yeah.
Alan, do you have anything to plug?
yes.
Al?
He's like, nah.
Look for on the 20th a bunch of intro article pieces from the writers I've recruited for the Star Games. The Reveal podcast that Hunter, Emmett, and I recorded, which was a technical nightmare.
It was a technical nightmare. It was not fun.
It was fun for me and Emmett, but not for you.
Yeah, because like I kept dropping out, and I was like, "Fuck."
Oh no.
But other than that, yeah.
Next episode of Smallville Chronicles, we have guest star Connor Irving.
You scared me again. So I keep forgetting there's another one of me, and every time you do that, I'm like, what?
And the episode was the recording was nearly over 2 hours.
I was right.
That's not surprising to me, actually.
I thought you were gonna say it was 8 hours long.
Alan's like, it's still going.
We went to Canada to do it, so we counted that in our recording.
We recorded the drive. Called the Smallville Ride Along.
So, the next thing planned is the Aquaman unaired pilot as our in between season 1 and 2.
Yeah, count me out on that one.
I have never laid eyes on that, and I just can't imagine what kind of a disaster it actually is.
I mean, on paper, it's got a good cast. It's got Justin Hartley. It's got Ladon Phillips, Ving Rhames, Adrian Palicki.
I mean, movie 43 has a great cast on paper.
What's wrong with Ving Rhames?
What is Ving Rhames doing on a Smallville TV show?
He has to pay for his daughter's private school. I don't know.
Exactly.
Okay,
He's got to pay for one of his mansions, or not mansions, but at least a home in Malibu.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Alright.
Oh, go ahead. If you want to vamp on Ving Rhames for a bit.
No,
I was gonna say he lives in that Marcellus Wallace house, so he has to.
That's true.
Has to keep that up.
That's true. I'm Eric Fedorchak. You can find me on Eric_Fedor on Instagram. Pictures of dogs and cats and food and comics. I'm floating around the Phantom Zone. I will talk to you about a little bit of anything if you want to, but probably not. You probably don't want to talk to me about many things. And also on the note of what Arlen was saying about that Disney is definitely going to have adult stuff on their streaming service.
Fucking dare! Don't.
Mickey Shimon as her spines tingle from the contact.
Nope.
Her breathing was deep and labored, and her heart was.
If anybody out there can find erotic literature featuring ranch dressing, please send it to Eric Fedorchak.
I want you, Mickey.
I take everything about it.
Drew his tail and pulled back.
Stop it!
Just burn the whole thing.
Bye.
Stop it!
Bye.
Fuck Warner Brothers. And I was gonna say, my closing comments like, do people go to Ving Rhames' house and does he open the door and go, "Do I look like a bitch?"
Oh, this is actually pretty sweet. You're beautiful. You know that, he said with a
Okay, no, we're done.
Okay. Fuck Brian Singer. Bye.
Fuck Warner Brothers.